Certainly, I wasn't expecting Ritu to ask about my dressing. Thus, I told her that, it's just Aruna occasionally asks me to wear them and I have no particular interests in it. Then I slowly opened up about how I ended up wearing nightie for first time, and how it later became a comfortable dress to do household works. I also hesitantly told her that I tried few salwars and kurtis as well. My intention was to tell him that I was not completely interested in wearing women's clothes and have never discussed Aruna about that. Ritu nodded his head. So you dress in women's outfits once in a while. You do little makeup, wear gold bangles, and your wife doesn't seem to have any problem with that. Yes, I slowly replied. So, why don't you talk to your wife openly? That if she likes the idea to take it up to the next level, like me? She asked. Well, why do I need to? We are happy as it is now. I struggled to reply. You're good, but seeing your wife, I find a similar character of Surya in her as well. After all, she was supportive when you dress in nightie and kurtis. I feel that you didn't get her subtle message. That she will definitely be happy if you groom yourself more feminine. He continued, at the moment, you are in the middle, trying to balance things. Why don't you cross to the other side of the road? Try new things and see how it works. I am sure it will be fun for you both. I wasn't really sure that I actually agree with Ritu. I became silent and he also gave some time for me to think about it. I had to come back to finish some works, so I came back home. I was trying to connect the dots, and how much we both changed since I lost my job. First, Aruna became more and more dominant and later changed her attitude. She was no longer a homely housewife, stopped wearing saris or salwars. On the other hand, I have become a house husband, doing all the household works. Naturally, I have become more and more submissive and living under Aruna. I am now adjusted to this life and its luxury. I don't need to run behind money and career. Moreover, I have got used to these comfortable nighties and kurtis. I become more interested towards showing me as beautiful and presentable. Thinking all the changes I went through so far, I felt there's nothing harm in going one more step ahead. If Aruna likes it, then it will be a new experience for us. All these thoughts went through my mind and Ritu started to make sense. Soon I finished all my works and texted Ritu, and he quickly responded. Feel free to come, he said. More to that, to show my acceptance, I didn't try to change into a t-shirt or jeans. Instead, I just reached the next door in my nightie as a sign of approval to what Ritu proposed. Oh dear, seems you are up to something, he said with a smile. I didn't know from where I was getting all the shyness and we together started to laugh. So dear, now that you wished to join the party, why don't you try something new and colorful? My wardrobe is open for you, he said, but still, my mind was swinging towards both sides. And seeing my hesitation, Ritu dragged me to his wardrobe, took a floral top and leggings, and asked me to undress. I waited for a second while Ritu stressed again. At last, I hesitantly undressed and stood there in my inners, when Ritu started talking. Why didn't you shave your body hairs as well? When you want to get dressed in women's wear, you have to make full changes. Half-hearted changes here, and they will not give you full satisfaction and results. I see there's a lot of things that have to improve, Prabhu. He paused for a moment and continued. Don't worry dear, I'm here to help you and make you feel better. My mind was questioning about all these dressing topics. Aren't we going little overboard with them? I asked myself. I also thought about ideas to make an excuse and get back home, so that I can have more time to think about it. But Ritu was quick in setting up things for my transformation. He is an expert in makeup, so he dragged me and made me sit on a chair and started to apply the hair removal cream on my legs, hands and chest. He waited for few minutes and then removed the hairs. After cleaning, my body has become very smooth and silky. Now, he asked me to remove the underwear as well and told me to wear a bra and panty. A subtle force from Ritu and I was doing as he said. The smooth, shaved skin and the silky panties were giving a completely different feeling that I never had before. And when I took the panty through my legs, the soft sensation made my penis to get excited. I wore the 34C cup bra and Ritu helped me to put the straps. Ritu then took some fake breast forms and filled it in my chest. I was slowly getting a feeling of humiliation and asked her about the need for it, but Ritu assured me that, once I get the feel and start liking it, I will not back out later. For now, I have become at least 50% female with the hairless body, the soft floral panty and the 34C bra along with the breast forms, which changed my chest into a much more realistic breasts. After that, he gave me a kurti and leggings and I wore them unwillingly. It was my first time in leggings, which felt very tight at the bottom, and Ritu assured that I'll get used to it very soon. I was very nervous to get dressed in front of a third person, but Ritu was very much supportive and made me comfortable. After the dressing, he led me to the makeup room and made me sit in front of a mirror. It took only 30 minutes for Ritu to transform a young husband to a beautiful wife. It was surprising that he was very professional in his makeup skills. He started with applying moisturizer to prep my face, then primer and foundation cream. With each step, my face was getting smooth and nice. My usual normal cheeks were made full and fluffy with a pinkish blush. He took extra care to my eyes by applying eyeshadow and eyeliner, which gave them a nice shape. And with mascara on, my eyes become brighter. Last steps of my transformation came with some pampering to my lips. He applied a layer of lip balm to moisturize them, and then chose a bright red lipstick on top of it. He did it so perfectly and I ensured the lip color is applied uniformly. He then gave me some nice looking dangling earrings, and before finishing, he thought of something and pointed 2 fingers for me to choose. I wasn't aware what he was up to and but simple touched one. He then took a red bindi sticker and stuck it on my forehead. And finally, he took a small pinch of sindoor and kept it in the middle of my hair partition. The last step of Ritu made me go awestruck and I didn't even know what to say. That last step with bindi and sindoor transformed me to a married woman. I made a very angry glance at Ritu and took my hands to remove them. Ritu quickly stopped me, asked what happened. It was supposed to be fun. I shouted, but Ritu told that I look very pretty and classy with the bindi and sindoor. And he only wanted to try how it looks on me and remove it. Then, but they beautified my face to another level. He convinced me that there's nothing wrong to try a bindi when I am fully dressed and with all makeup. Anyway, you are married. What's wrong in having sindoor then? Your wife may love it as well. Try it today, and I am sure you both will have a great time. Ritu smilingly said and winked at me. All these comforting words calmed me down and I felt he's right. Now that I'm fully dressed as a woman with makeup and everything, what difference it will make? I've always expected Aruna to be a traditional wife before I lose my job, and she always followed that. Life had other ideas and now I look like a homely house husband to my wife. I was back to my normal self after few minutes and apologized to Ritu. These days, I get more emotional and gets confused in taking decisions on my own. And now getting a friend like you is very helpful in guiding me towards right things, I told her. Hearing me saying her as friend, Ritu gave a nice hug and said in my ears, "After wearing the women's dresses, seems you are slowly stepping into women's character as well. Way to go, girl." I again made a false cry and he hugged me again. "Oh, I forgot, here." He quickly handed me a dupatta, which I placed onto my left shoulder. After my makeover and dressing session, I was getting more and more comfortable with Ritu. I was observing the feminine gestures of him, the way he walks like a woman, the way he carries his dresses nicely. Everything was surprising me, like how a born male can behave beautifully like a woman. We were chit-chatting for some time and it was time for me to leave. And the main thing Ritu advised me is that, if Aruna likes my feminine character, which she was very confident, I will need to become more and more feminine in my dressing, makeup and attitude, and I should also love her manly side. She adjusted some makeup and wished me for a great new experience today. Prabha's first look, I returned to our house completely as a new person. When I saw myself in the mirror, I looked like a woman in her late 20s. I once thought to remove the sindoor and bindi, but then wished to see Aruna's reaction to it. I remembered the way Ritu walked like a woman and funnily giggling like a girl. I was shaking my hips and imitating the way women walks and started to prepare dinner for Aruna. The colorful new dress, the newly makeover face, the advice that Ritu gave to enhance my femininity and love Aruna's manliness, was playing heavily with my hormones. When I was preparing roti, I heard the sounds of my bangles, and whenever I moved, I heard the sounds of my earrings dangling. They were so pleasing that I became in a good mood and began constantly listening to them. Time seemed to be moving very slow and I was waiting for Aruna to come soon, so that she can see me in my new avatar. Thinking about how strong Aruna has become and the way she lifted me that day, today I dreamed to have a wild night with her. It was 8 p.m. and I heard Aruna coming. I left the door open and stood in the kitchen, showing my back. Aruna came inside calling me, "Prabhu, Prabhu," and I didn't reply. First she checked me in the room and then came to kitchen. For a moment, she might have thought some new person is in the house, but when she came closer, slowly she realized the surprise for her. "Prabhu." She held my arms and turned me towards her. I wasn't really sure if Aruna had previously wished that I should wear women's dresses or not, but that moment she saw me with women's dress, makeup and bindi, the surprise and happiness that Aruna had was something that I haven't seen in her in a long time. Even after a minute seeing me, she was silent and her face was still full of the surprise and the never-seen look of her husband Prabhu. Slowly she opened her mouth and said, "Prabhu, I wonder what I see is reality or a dream. Why are you dressed like this? I mean, you are really pretty and gorgeous. I thought you didn't like these dresses. But how did it happen today? I can't believe." She became so excited that she hugged me and started kissing me all over my face. "Tell me, Aruna, do you really like it? Am I looking beautiful?" I asked her by flaunting my dress. "Of course, darling. You are the most beautiful person that I've ever met. You are really looking gorgeous in this dress and makeup. I think it's all Ritu's work, but I am surprised how you allowed Ritu to dress you like this. Aruna smilingly replied. As if she got full of energy, Aruna hugged me tightly and started to kiss my lips and lick my tongue. I was trying to push her away, but she tightly held my hands and I wasn't able to do anything against her strength. I slowly gave up, allowing her to do whatever she wants. Next second, she carried me to our room and I was lying on the bed. We both were in our wild mood. Aruna said, "Baby, tell me the truth. Do you really like this dress and wish to continue like this? I would love to see you daily in these types of dresses." Saying this, she pulled my leggings and removed it fast. Immediately my manhood got excited and it was waiting for Aruna. Our normal love and romance started to move to another level when Aruna undressed herself and we both started to hug and roll in the bed. Our hands were all over on our body and we were continuing our lip kiss with lots of passion. While my hands needed her body and we had a wild session in many ways in many positions in whole night. We regularly made love, but the feel and the passion that we both got today was something that we were looking for a long time. Today, at this moment, I was feeling that Ritu's advice worked and I thanked him for that. In between our kisses and smooches, I told the story how Ritu helped me to transform into a beautiful woman and Aruna was loving my changeover. She repeatedly asked me how I was feeling when I got the bindi and sindoor in my forehead. Finishing our best foreplay of life, Aruna pushed me and came on top of me. She started to *** me and I started to slowly moan. They sounded like a beautiful music and we both were enjoying the best night. Aruna's hands were playing against my breasts and in the bottom. We both were hitting it really hard. Pushing really hard and wild, Aruna started asking, "Darling, what's your name?" I didn't understood Aruna's question and said, "What? Why?" She started to pinch my breast, over my bra, and urged, "Tell me." "Prabhu," I said. She started to pinch continuously. And asked again, "Tell me. What's your name exactly?" "Prabhu," I said again. "Tell me, does my Prabhu wear bra, panty, kurti and leggings? Tell me, then who are you?" She asked again loudly. I finally understood what she wants and replied, "I am Prabha." I winked while moaning. "Yes. Who are you?" She asked again. "I am Prabha. I am Prabha. And you are Arun, my Arun." I kept shouting, hearing my loud moans and self-declaring me as Prabha. Aruna started to hit really hard and asked, "So Prabha, now tell me, are you my husband or wife?" And my answer was obvious when I accepted me as Prabha. "I am your wife. I am your wife Arun. I am your wife Prabha. Love you Arun. Love you my husband." Under that nice sexual feeling, I was accepting my new life as Prabha. Arun became excited and asked me to talk more. "Come on, Prabha. Come on Prabha. Tell me your feelings. Tell me what you like. What you want to be." And I was continuing, "My darling Arun, if you like this, if you love this and accept, let's continue to the rest of our life as Arun and Prabha. I would like to be your wife. Your wife. As a housewife. You are my strength. I want you to dominate me. Be my man. I like to dress. I like to have makeup, have this bindi and sindoor. I want to please you. I want you to please me as well. I would like to see how you treat me as a wife. Yes, I am your wife." Under the pleasures of romance, I was self-realizing what will make our life happy. There is no point in being a house husband and living with the guilt and sadness. I will hereafter take a role of housewife. And giving this family the love and happiness is my only work. Hereafter, And that moment I realized that I will be a housewife forever. Life has got a new dimension since the day I embraced femininity and accepted my life as a housewife. All these years, I grew up as a guy. My profession as a manager in a MNC with few people working under me. Marrying Aruna, all of them now feels like fictional and happened in my previous birth. Several times my mind reminded me that what I do is not normal and I have to live my life as a male and a husband. But slowly, I learned to ignore all those thoughts, which made my life peaceful and joyful. Unlike the initial days when I struggled to do the household works, it has now become my daily routine. And the main reason we agreed this will be my new life, since I don't have to worry about getting a new job or start my career again. Though it was sad to be always dependent on my wife, but living as a house husband without a job and humiliation has disappeared now. And I happily took over the role of a housewife. I also started to enjoy the luxury of staying at home. My mind and body has become lazy enough to go to work. I was happy and satisfied when I cooked some nice dishes and served them to Arun, dress up beautifully, doing makeup and spend more lovely time with Arun. I have to thank Ritu for everything she did to shape me as Prabha. Until she clearly explained about those inner desires of Arun to dress me as a woman, I was thinking it was all coincidence. I have questioned Arun many times if he really had that interest in first place. Arun was more careful to admit it was all intentional but didn't reject as well. My beauty sense has improved a lot and I was taking more and more attention to keep me pretty. Daily morning and evening, I spent hours together putting on makeup, dressing and admiring my beauty in front of the mirror. Once after finishing, I never forget to take a selfie in kissing or pouting pose and send it to Arun. It was always fun when he sees my pic and call me. Immediately, he starts talking about my beauty and that will end up as a hot romantic chat. Sending selfies to Arun, I completely stopped thinking about cutting my hairs. And on the contrary, I started to pray for my hairs to grow faster, so that I can remove my hair extensions and experience new styles with my own hair. Aruna also took the role of husband very seriously. There was a vacuum in between us when I lost my job. Now the love and care I got from Aruna is back again, but this time, she had to do all those things that a husband do to please his wife. Even I started to act naturally as a wife and had lots of expectations on Arun in keeping me happy. To fulfill my desires, he started to spend lots of time with me, often pleasing me with new dresses or gifts. When he is at home, it was mandatory for us to bathe together and he always wanted me to dress and make up in front of him. He never stopped to touch and kiss me all over and end up with a romantic session. Prabha fully dressed as a woman. The best thing with this transformation is we have become hot crazy on each other. We loved our foreplay sessions a lot, which have become enjoyable when I turned submissive in front of Arun. Daily night, it's my duty to dress up only in bra and panties, only to be stripped shortly. With Arun lying on bed, spreading his legs wide, I with a bright pink coated juicy lips, dutifully kiss him all over his body. To make him for hot and aggressive, so that he can start stroke me harder, I insert my tongue in his private part, swirling it over and over and knead his soft body and back with my hands. We broke all the barriers between us, trying new things in love life. Whenever Arun gets excited, he really gets more and more manly and treat me like his real born wife. We had our hardcore sessions all over the house and no matter what time it is. Whenever he is in mood, he will carry me to our bed anyway. Over time, Arun's interests on my dressing has got changed a lot. He started to show less interest in seeing me in modern sexy dresses or skirts, and became excited whenever I wear traditional Indian dresses, like salwar or kurtis. When I told that to Ritu, she laughed out and funnily said that Arun has got a typical Indian husband mentality to see his wife dressed very conservative. I found no problem with that, as I also found traditional Indian dresses very comfortable and beautiful for my body. So in last few weeks, I started to present myself as a more traditional wife. I always made sure that I wear at least 2 pairs of gold bangles he gifted me. Bindi and sindoor on my forehead has also become regular for me, as Aruna instructed me to do daily puja and occasional fasting for our family well-being. I've become a religious person in last few years, and accepted whatever Arun told me to do. Arun has gifted me all sorts of accessories that made me look like a real woman, and now I had a separate collection of everything. Out of them, Arun's favorite is my silver anklets with lots of beads, which makes loud sounds when I walk around the house. Apart from dressing, Ritu has taught me a lot of feminine aspects, which I practiced to spice up my life. Ritu taught me how to speak softly like a wife to a husband, how I should carry my dresses elegantly, and how to shake my hips and walk gracefully like a woman. Ritu was a master in these soft skills, and with continuous practice, I also able to master them. Now it has become so natural for me to sway my hips gently. Arun has gone crazy on my hip movements, and I sometimes tempted him by adding extra artificial movement in a catwalk style. One thing I was eagerly waiting is for the day to wear a sari. I wanted to plan that for a special day, like Arun's birthday, by giving a pleasant surprise to him. It will be the day I consider myself completely transformed as a housewife and fully accept my new life. Thus, whenever Arun asked me to wear a sari, I tried to change the topic or told him that I will try some other day. I opened up my plan to Ritu few days before Arun's birthday, and we purchased a beautiful red-colored Kanchipuram silk sari with golden jari all over. Finally, the day I was waiting for has arrived. Arun had some important works on that day, so he went to the office, unaware of the surprise that we planned for the evening. Myself and Ritu went to the beauty parlor to make myself pretty for the occasion. To match the silk sari, I took the gold jewelry that I bought for Aruna. I wore big golden earrings, bangles, a necklace and another gold chain. Ritu told me to get my nose pierced, as it will be a beautiful surprise to Arun, which will also make me much more traditional. I immediately agreed to her idea, and pierced my nose. I wore Aruna's nose stud, which she wore during her marriage, that is slightly larger with 5 stones. Ritu and the parlor ladies helped me in drape the sari for the first time in my life. I loved the moment more and wanted it to never end. Inside the sari, I wore a special skirt that shaped my body much more feminine by highlighting my butt. I started to look more curvy and sexy with that skirt. It was a special feeling when the soft silk sari draped around my body, and I felt no other dress that matched the elegance of a sari. It gave me a sense of pride and happiness to hold the pallu on one end and gracefully shaking and showing my curves. The jari in the sari and the jewelry was making my entire body shine like gold. I wished that I should have been born as a woman, and my life would have been great. With all these beautiful dresses, saris and jewelry. Never before I felt so happy to wear the women's dress. The silk fabric and also the feel That Arun will be seeing me in this sari was making me more and more shy, and I was continuously blushing with my head down. I told myself to learn the draping skills quickly, since I thought to wear them regularly at home. Once I liked to see Aruna full-time wearing saris, but now I was looking forward to seeing myself dressed in them. After all, I realized that there was nothing that gives pleasure than wearing a nice sari, full of jewelry and makeup, giving a romantic look. And smile at your husband, sway your hips and attracting him. What more a husband can wish from his wife? I have put sindoor in my forehead and hair partition. And finally, a bunch of jasmine flowers was placed on my head. Checking my looks in the mirror, I realized that any person in the world will not recognize me as a man. I have almost lost all my external identity as a man. Prabha fully dressed as a woman. It was evening already, and as per our plan, I called Arun and asked him to come to a nearby temple when his works got finished. I told him that we will need to do puja on occasion of his birthday. I also gave him a hint that there is a surprise awaiting him, so that he will come soon. It was a moderately crowded temple, and for the first time I have been to a crowded place fully dressed as a woman. Ritu also accompanied me dressing in a sari. I was waiting in a silent area and was eagerly waiting for Arun to reach the temple. Very soon, I saw Arun reached the temple. He was searching for me, and finally found Ritu and me on one corner. Even it was distance, I could clearly see lots of surprise and confusion all over his face. I thought he might have got some confusion, whether it's myself or some other woman. And when he found it's really me, dressed in a sari, he ran towards me with all the excitement and shouted loudly, "Wow! Prabha, you are in a sari." I made signals with my eyes to keep it down, since we were in public with people around. And when he got a closer look, he almost shouted again. "Is that my nosepin? Wait, did you really pierce your nose?" he asked. "Yes," I replied shyly. Arun's eyes clearly said that he really loved this surprise. Besides, he was more and more happy to see me as a complete wife in front of him. He couldn't control his excitement and even reached near to kiss me, which made me again remind him we are in a temple. I was acting normal so far, and the moment Arun came near me, I became filled with shyness. I couldn't see his face directly and kept my head down. He also couldn't find words to say, thus, he just held my hands tightly and took me to the temple. That moment has made it really worth my transformation from a husband to a wife. Even after changing our roles, we still looked like a couple, since Aruna has maintained her body more muscular and manly. Her shortly cut hair with a slim fit shirt and jeans, it was difficult to realize her as a woman. We performed puja and prayed for our happiness and well-being. The priest had a slightly strange look at first, which made us nervous, but then he became normal. I was happy and prayed that these happinesses should last always. After puja, I asked Arun to keep the jasmine flower on my hair. Then slowly we walked to the quiet area on the side of the temple to sit. For some time, Ritu thought that her job is now done and left to her home. Arun started, "Babe, I really loved today's surprise very much. I couldn't think of a better surprise for my birthday than this. You look too pretty in this sari, my darling. In fact, you are more beautiful than me in this sari." "No," I stopped him. "I know Aruna is more beautiful than me," I said. Arun continued with a smile, "Darling, I want to talk about something now and feel it's the right time to speak from our heart. I know we both started to really like this new life and our new roles in our family. I feel we need to do something to continue this life forever. What do you think? Arun started to make sense. So far we were enjoying our newly found life, without thinking about anything or anyone. But how long will be able to continue this? At some point, I have to go out, reveal my identity as male, which I can't do now. If someone finds me as male, we will be in trouble. How will we shape our lives if we are blessed with a baby? I questioned this to Arun, and after a minute of silence he continued further. I have a plan, my dear. I have an opportunity to shift to a new place for my work. To a different city or a different country, where people won't recognize us. Let's start a new happy life as per our wish. I really want you as my wife, and I will be your husband throughout this life. What about kids? I asked. I have no issues in having kids. I am sure we both will be great parents. Even though I give birth to them, you will take good care of them as their mother. I will be always supporting you in raising them. Aruna always lives within me, and I'll never run out of my responsibilities. I'm sure we will work out something, he replied. That was the hope and positive words I was looking for. I smiled and hugged Arun as an acceptance of his plan and to be his wife for the rest of our life. It was time, and after praying again, we left the temple. Arun was ready with his super bike, and I sat behind him, one-sided, due to the sari. I held onto his shoulder strongly for the support for now and for rest of the lifetime. I am now fully ready to live my life as Mrs. Prabha Arun, and mainly as a housewife.